panel on Tech Champions, Lessons from App Olympics Winners. This panel features App Olympics winners who will share their experiences, insights, and lessons learned from competing in and winning the competition. For those of you who don't know, the App Olympics is the UAE's flagship contest for mobile app development by the Dubai Chamber of Digital Economy that invites people from throughout the world to compete. Contestants competed for $150,000 in services and in resources. The winners, our panelists, are Mohammed Almansoori for Emudy, Fatima Alshaali for Bareeq, Bassem Nassif for the Intern, and Rakesh Mavath for Takeem. And Mina Vucic from entrepreneur.com is our moderator for this session. Welcome. Welcome, panelists.
All right, what a lineup. Hello, how's everyone doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Right, now that we dove deep into the synergy of mobile apps, AI, human connectivity, I would like to welcome the founders who have done it all in the last year's App Olympics final. Can we please put our hands together for all of the winners of the App Olympics final 2024? All right, Mohammed, Fatima, Bassem, and Rakesh, thank you for coming over today.
You're welcome.
Thank
How
you.
is everyone doing?
Great.
We're ready for a little interrogation.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I just want to kick off this conversation, obviously ask you guys what was the inspiration behind your app, what motivated you to complete an App Olympics, and if you can give us a little introduction, obviously, about your applications. We can start with you.
Okay, sure. Takeem is the all-in-one digital platform that saves tenants billions of upfront costs, guarantees landlords their rent, and simplifies the long-term renting process from 5 days down to 15 minutes. The reason I started the app is one word: revenge. I lost $3 million on a house that never got built, and I was ghosted by 2 landlords for my security deposit. So it was that frustration, driven from that element of revenge, that led me to create Takeem to take the pain out of renting.
So you took that negative energy and you put it into something positive.
That
right?
was my superhero origin story.
Amazing. And I see you're pitching right under a minute at some point.
Yeah,
You've practiced enough.
practiced a lot.
Perfect. How about you, Bassem? Tell me a little bit about your app.
Well, it all started when we start to keep hiring fresh grads, and we start to feel that the tenure and the churn from organization very high cost. We started to look into it very explicitly, and we started to share it with a lot of companies. There's a lot of optimization could happen here. So we decided to build the Intern, which is LinkedIn for interns. This where you can help them to decide on their career goals and think of what's the best for their future with complete AI enablement with a minimal human intervention.
I mean, there's such a huge gap in the market with that, so thank you for creating that application.
100%, thank
I have a
you.
list of people I'm going to send over your way.
It's
Right.
a huge market. We consider it a parallel economy for employment.
All right.
Because if you can think about it, it's definitely, you have 5 years of college that you can create a lot of opportunities for those as
course.
economy and market stands.
Of course. How about you, my dear Fatima?
For
Tell us.
Bareeq, I was struggling when I want to order from a home-based business, especially on Instagram and WhatsApp. So at that time, I thought of why not having one application that can connect the home-based businesses with the customers. This is where the initial vision of Bareeq started, and it kept me motivated to create that vision into reality.
Wonderful. Last but not least, Mohammed. Thank you for joining us.
Emudy, it's an app that assists students to prepare for the MSAT exam,
Okay.
to qualify them to enter universities and also apply for scholarships. So us as 3 founders, we have taken the MSAT exam, and we have seen the struggle of preparing for that type of exam. And this is when the idea came to our mind, to assist the upcoming youth to prepare effectively for AMSAT, because currently there is no way for any student to prepare for AMSAT.
Right.
And the reason why we were motivated to go into App Olympics, it's because of one thing, and it's because of funding. We had multiple ideas, and all of the ideas, we weren't able to continue them or execute them because of the funding. And this is the reason why we applied to App Olympics.
And just to remind everyone, this year's prize fund is $150,000. So yes, funding is extremely important. Tell me, Bassem, how was it presenting in front of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan? What were you feeling at the moment?
So it's a moment of proud to be here because myself, I never had the chance to think that we're going to be part even with 1,200 applicants at the very early stage. But this is my second startup. I already exited the first one. And it's never too late to keep trying ideas. Idea of Intern was in drawer 2 years back. By coincidence, I looked into LinkedIn. I found this happening around App Olympics for the first time. I said, okay, let's try.
Why
and by
not?
coincidence, I even had this domain booked, which is the intern.app, 2 years back. And I never used it. And the story is, whenever I've seen this opportunity to build an app, because my previous company was all about WhatsApp channels, so now I'm promoting to people to get downloading apps and use it for internships opportunities enabled by AI. I've seen the whole process was magically happening, and it all requires persistence and resilience to reach there.
Of course. Wonderful. How about you, Fatima? How was it presenting in front of His Highness?
It was an experience and a moment not like any other.
I can
Because
imagine.
no one will expect this moment to present in front of His Highness. So that gave me more confidence, and it helped me to present in a better way. Yeah, I think this is.
I remember I was sitting in the crowd, I was staring at all of your guys' faces, and I was like, wow, I was proud of you, and I've never met you before. So honestly, very, very, very well done. Now, every development journey, comes with its hurdles, right? But those challenges, they often lead to growth, hopefully. What was the most, let's say, significant challenge that you guys faced during the development of your app at App Olympics? If we can start with you, Rakesh.
I would say probably the hardest thing was dumbing down your idea to get it to a simple, valuable MVP.
Okay.
We have all these great ideas about what we want our end of product to be, but to really get it down to create that niche and that beachhead and make it that simple MVP, I think that was probably the hardest thing.
All right. How about you, Mohammed? Do you resonate?
So one of the main problems that we have faced is the lack of skill set that we had. We didn't have enough knowledge in business, and we didn't have enough knowledge in design. I would like to thank the Dubai Chamber and their team and their partners. They have supported us in terms of helping us develop our skills.
100%.
And they have also supported us in terms of the prototype, of the design, the business plan, and also the pitch.
Can I ask for a huge round of applause for Dubai Chambers, please? Thank you. Wonderful to hear. How about you, Fatima? Any major
the
challenges?
most challenging was balancing my time between the App Olympics and my full-time job. So
Okay.
I was able to overcome that by minimizing the calendar with unneeded meetings and unneeded tasks and gatherings, and I make the priority for the competition.
Okay. How about you, Bassem? Did you have 2 jobs as well?
Yeah, I think it's more on the business side, which is the monetization out of the model. When you create a social impact app, and you know that you're building it for the purpose of helping people, helping interns, helping youngsters, unbiasedly to give them the chance to join companies and not allowing anyone to interfere in the process, building it all over AI platforms. So that made us very much consciously trying to find the right model to be sustained, not only looking for investment and raise and this type of series of things. So by having that said, and with the support of the ecosystem that we've been starting with Dubai Chamber for sure, is the subscription model worked with the companies to allow this as part of their social contribution to the interns and youngsters in universities.
Great. And it's great to see how you overcome those challenges at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
You become super proud of yourself once you get
100%.
over that.
Thank you.
Now, at the end of the day, you guys dealt with a lot of mentors, you've dealt with a lot of feedback, and to be honest, I think sometimes this can be a double-edged sword. So, what was the most, let's say, unexpected or unusual piece of feedback that you received, and how did that kind of shape the direction of where your app went? Would you like to be first to go?
I don't think there was a moment like that for
Really?
us.
Okay.
Yeah. The feedback was all incredibly positive. The mentorship was incredibly positive. It was intense,
Okay.
but in a very good way. And the ability to be able to speak to any one of the mentors at any time, over a 6-month period this is, and speak to anyone at Dubai Chamber, speak to the people from Entrepreneur Magazine, who both organizations have been amazing since we've graduated, I would say. And I imagine they're doing the same thing for every single company that applied as well.
Yes,
So
of course.
I would say we didn't have that setback as such because the positiveness and the support was so great.
All right. Anybody else get some unexpected feedback that you'd never thought about before? All right, Mohammed, go first.
Okay.
Go.
So one of the unexpected advices or thing that have been told to us is when we approached the Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. So he told us that we need, because our initial vision was to only focus in the UAE. He told us to focus in the UAE and expand to the world. You guys might see it as a simple words, but those couple of words have changed our approach, our goals, our vision, the way our application works, and a lot of things that have happened to our application.
Interesting. You, Fatima?
I was getting an unexpected feedback also from His Highness Sheikh Fazza. When I received the award, I didn't expect from him to talk to me, and so he gave me a positive feedback, and that really encouraged me to change the approach for Bareeq.
What did he tell you?
Yeah. This is a secret.
It's a secret. All right, all right. We're not going to disclose that. Behind the scenes. All right. Well, winning the App Olympics is obviously a major achievement for all of you, but innovation doesn't stop after the competition, and this is only the beginning for you guys. So I just wanted to ask you, since your victory, are there any major updates in your apps? Have you maybe implemented something new in your applications that you would like to mention here and really brought them to that next level?
I have to give a big shout out here for Dubai Chamber of Digital Economy because what we thought would be the hardest part of our startup, they've actually made the connections for us to be able to accelerate that part of it. They've opened doors to the Dubai Land Department. They've given us the contacts to do partnerships with incredibly large organizations, which we thought would actually take a year at least to be able to do, and we would have to be able to show traction. They've made a call, next day we've got a meeting. It's quite simply amazing.
That's great. That's great to hear. How about you, Bassem?
So basically, when I ever focus on the relation between the intern and the employer, I found that it's a country-based or culture-based. And with this moment when we ever met His Highness on a stage, he explicitly explained that he wants this app to bring tourists and people from outside to enjoy how this country and the culture look like. And this was actually an eye-opener because
You can go global.
I never had it in mind, literally. I never had this chance to think of importing people to come and enjoy this type of ecosystem. Like he said, we've been building this country for years. Now it's enabled to bring the best talents in the world. So let's do our best to be part of this ecosystem.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. It's great to hear. How about you, Fatima?
For Bareeq, after the competition, I was able to have the development of the app as a support from Dubai Chamber, and this has helped us to have the full build ready, hopefully by the end of this year. And with that, we have a social media exposure. So as you know, for any mobile application, the most challenging part to be exposed to social media, to the right audience.
Build a profile and everything.
Exactly,
Yes.
and this was handled by BNC Publishing and Dubai Chamber. So we really appreciate that support. And I think if I didn't participate, I wouldn't be able to do that alone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. How about you, Mohammed?
Can you repeat the question? Was it about an innovation?
So the question was, in general, how has your app transformed after winning the App Olympics? Because that was just the beginning for you, right?
Yeah, so...
You got your funding. What happened next?
Yeah, so I'm saying that Emudy is linked to App Olympics. So Emudy will not be known without App Olympics. So without App Olympics, we'll not get our funding. So Emudy will not be here. I will not be sitting here and will not be able to execute the business. Without also App Olympics, we'll not be able to create our personalized branding. So whenever we connect with anyone, we tell them that we're the winners of App Olympics. Without App Olympics, we'll not be here and will not be able to actually execute the project.
There you go, guys. I think you placed it a very short and simple way of saying it. Join the App Olympics this year as well. Now, my next question for you guys would be, what would be kind of your key takeaways that you've learned during the App Olympics that you have up your pocket now and that you can speak about openly, that were your top 3 moments?
I would say the amount of practice you have to do to get to the finals, number one, but always be raising. Whether you're raising funds or raising sales or raising your exposure, always be raising.
All right, and I see that all of you are very to the point in your answers, so you've practiced enough. Bassem, how about you?
Yeah, I think the famous story when someone comes to you and tell you, yeah, I've seen this idea before. So
Okay.
this is always the shocking statement for any entrepreneur, that he feels like
And you melt.
very distinguished and he did this best thing in the world.
Yeah.
So you should react like that, like smile at his face and tell him, I'm happy that someone thought the same way that I think now. If it proven success, the other one, then I'm on the right track.
Right.
So if you have an idea and you've seen similarity with others in the same thing, be assured that you can definitely execute it the right way to make it happen. And it's all about the founder and the execution of the idea, not about the idea itself, because you have the idea everywhere. I'm not building something that no one did before. I'm sure I'm looking for my competition in the US, in
Yeah.
India. I'm very proud that I'm gonna be part of this space. I've been in other spaces. It was very cluttered and very noisy, and we made it and we exited. Now, with the intern, I think it's another thing that makes you so young and started it from scratch. But to be honest, we're so lucky, Taban, that we're
Right.
here, because the start was so impressive with App Olympics, with the exposure that we got on Entrepreneur and every social media here,
Right.
and expand North Star for sure.
And I mean, it's great that now you could actually meet people that do a similar, job and application to what you do and learn from them. And this is what events such as this one are for at the end of the day, right?
Very healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me, Fatima, any key takeaways?
Yeah, of course. One of the things I learned that no matter how many certificates you have and the skills and knowledge, if you started a business, always seek advice from industry experts, because they have been in that path before you. So they will tell you what obstacles you might face, so you will be prepared for it, and you will plan in advance for anything unexpected that could happen. So for me, for Bareeq, there was many obstacles that I have faced during the development, but because I get the advice from the expert from the App Olympics on the online sessions, I was planning for it. And I was expecting that, so it helped me to move forward with Bareeq, even though many obstacles were there. Yeah.
But since you didn't mention education, I mean, this is just kind of a popping question now. I was always wondering, do you need that typical academic education in order to become an entrepreneur, in your opinion?
I think you must have a knowledge in the industry you're in. So for example, in the mobile app, at least have some IT knowledge about it, how the application will work, how the features will be developed. This will help you to understand more how you will link the idea to the development.
Right. You
Yeah.
understand the technical part of it as well. All right. How about you, Mohammed? Key takeaways?
One of the key takeaways, so I can talk about the key takeaways, but one thing that have helped us so much in my life and everything, me and my partners, one of the most important thing is App Olympics helped us to redefine what is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is what you guys see in Google or Safari. What we have learned is something different. Entrepreneurship, in our own definition, is series of failure to success. In what way do you guys say? So basically, if you fail in something, you learn, you try to learn from your mistake and try to succeed with it. Also,
Right.
this can be adapted in your life, in every single thing that you do in life.
Just keep going.
Keep going, yeah.
Now, I saw you wanted to mention something about the education question. Do you want to tell us now your
Well, an
opinion?
education can be important. I think social skills and sales skills especially.
All right.
You have to...
You mean the book smart, street smart division?
Yeah, the street smarts. You have to be able to sell your idea to investors. You have to be able to sell your idea to co-founders, and maybe they have the technical skills that I don't have. You have to sell your startup to potential clients. So I think having that sales skills is just as important as the academic skills.
Of course. And not everybody's born with that.
You can learn it though. Practice, practice, practice.
True, true. How about you? Do you have anything to say on mainstream education?
Perfect. Like, for example, I think the CEO or the founder, he's a sales guy. He should. It's his job to sell the product.
Right.
And as you said, it can be acquired as a skill. I encourage everyone who has an idea just to run after incubators and accelerators programs. Try to mix all the knowledge from different VC backgrounds. I attended at least 5 to 6 incubation programs and accelerators across the last 4 years.
Wow.
And it really, really matters. Everyone tells you a different story. Everyone tells you a different point of view on how to scale. Sometimes you get a shocking news that you don't need to raise fund now, you can bootstrap it and you can make it happen. And this was one of the best advices I got and I followed and it worked. That you don't need to seek investment from day one. Make sure that it's gonna be happening, generating revenue, and then you have full power to speak to investors.
Now you tell me you've been through 4 or 5 accelerators before that. Is entrepreneurship a lonely journey?
Ooh.
How do you find that? Where do you find the energy to,
It's a lonely journey.
very lonely.
Yeah, very lonely, and not only lonely. It's very lonely because you decided to take the hard way. You decided not to stay in a corporate life, 9 to 5. You decided that you paid out of your own pocket. You decided to leave your family and friends and decide to work on MVP and POCs and go upsell with a slide presentation and see how this is going to be happening at the end.
Yeah.
At the moment will turn all your life around when you get the first signature on a contract.
Right.
That's it.
And
It's
then you
worth it.
celebrate that night.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Now tell me, Mohammed, do you feel that winning the App Olympics has kind of elevated your app's visibility? Have you attracted any more investors? I mean, you guys are not anymore at the stage where you have to use money from your own pocket now that you've reached, the finals and you were the big winners that received the funds. Would you say that thanks to this stamp now, you attracted more investors into your app?
Yeah, like what I have said, without App Olympics, Emudy will not be here. So I think this will be answering your question, because actually App Olympics have created us the personalized branding that whenever we go to any investor or to anyone, they will know Emudy because of App Olympics. So it helped us to attract more connections, to interact with more people, and also in the upcoming days, inshallah, we'll be raising funding.
Amazing. How about you, Fatima? Have you attracted any new investors in the meantime?
Yeah, after the competition, Bareeq was recognized as the best innovative app, and investors were coming to us from that route. And this helped me to get a trust from them in advance that they know that this application have got a judgment and it's working and it has a potential in the future. So it helped me to reach not only investors, but even a co-founder for Bareeq as a solo founder. So I think, yeah, without App Olympics, Bareeq will not be able to reach that much of audience and investors.
Now, guys, if there's one thing you could do differently, if you could rejoin, what would it be?
For me, I think I will add on a new category for the App Olympics. That will be for the government applications.
Okay.
So as you know, currently all the governments have different applications. Each one have a different standard. They will not all have the same features.
Okay.
So you can rate one application 5 out of 5 and the other 3 out of 5. If we have them in the App Olympics, we will let them motivated to make the application even better. This way, all the government services will be better in the application.
Okay.
So I think I will add that.
That's a great piece of feedback. How about you, Bassem? Anything you would have done differently?
Maybe on a personal side, sometimes when you start something from scratch, you need to rebuild it with a history that you have already in mind, things that you've been trying to do in this way, you're trying to apply it. This doesn't work, by the way. So whatever you had in the past on your previous startup or experience, this shouldn't be the same thing that you follow in your upcoming startup or idea, because you probably learned a lot. You have been meeting a lot of people that helps you to understand. The mentors during the process were something that's really, really valuable for us. Even the judges with each and every stage in the App Olympics, we had a huge process, by the way. It's the longest process ever to get those 4 on stage. We were out of 1,200 applicants, then 250 to 40 people, and then 24, and then 12, and then 4.
Yeah.
So imagine, and it was crazy process, but it's so hygienic, it's so properly managed. I think the whole learning coming from meeting new people, listening to advisors, listening to judges, questions were in place, and you never take it as a challenge to have to answer the question of the judges, but you need to think probably it's an eye-opener for you to tackle it in your version.
Of course. How about you, Rakesh? Anything you would have done differently?
I don't think about things I would do differently.
You're already
I just,
planning
with a
ahead.
startup, it's all about speed of execution. So we move on to the next thing. We learn, but then we just move on to the next thing. So I don't really have that past mindset.
Okay. Now, guys, since we're running out of time, I want to ask you one more question. Advice. Big one. What would be your main pieces of advice that you can give to all these other upcoming participants that would like to join this year? What would it be?
Again, I'll say it again, practice. But also get ready to adapt. So just before we did our speech to His Highness, it was meant to be a 3-minute pitch.
Okay.
It got cut to 90 seconds.
Oh my
So
God.
we had to slice and dice our pitches.
He's remembering the moment.
No, those moments.
I think we all had a mild heart attack at the time.
Oh my God.
And don't use the word ghosting in front of His Highness. I got shocked when he turned to his advisor when I said the word, and I thought I was going to be deported.
No.
But then I realized he's an incredibly good-looking crown prince. He's never been ghosted in his life, so he probably doesn't know the word.
Right. That's a nice behind-the-scene moment. All right. How about you, Bassem?
Yeah, the moment that I got lately in the last 2 weeks of the journey, that probably we need to practice for 1 or 90 seconds pitch.
Okay.
That was like literally a heartbreaking moment because finally I got the 5 minutes correct, okay? And now you need to practice for 90 seconds.
And how much time do you have? You don't have much time.
Yeah, of course. Not only the panic attacks that I start to get along with it, to manage the whole experience in 90 seconds, I didn't practice well because I never thought that I will reach this moment. And that was so damaging for my brain because you've been in a crossroad whether to do the effort and do all your best to reach to this moment, even if you're not correctly planning it. And I think the main objective of this moment was you have to do all what it takes, regardless the results would be.
Right.
So I think it was hilarious. But even in my pitch to His Highness, I told him, by the way, sir, I never thought that I would reach to this stage. So please accept my apology if anything happened or went wrong in my pitch.
Yes.
So he laughed and he said, go ahead.
I'm sure you were fine. Yeah.
That's
But
it.
it must be very difficult for you guys because everything is so well planned in your head. And then you also have to get used to moments of, spontaneous, let's say, moments that
100%.
you never can plan those. And that's part of entrepreneurship, that's part of the journey, right?
100%.
How about you, Fatima? What would be your main pieces of advice for all the other upcoming App Olympics?
I think I would say first that the timing. So for me, whenever I get, like, for example, 5 minutes to talk, I practice for 4 minutes and a half. I keep 30 seconds just in case something happens.
I hope you don't have PTSD from the timer we have here.
Yeah, that's why when they told us that when we will speak in front of His Highness, it was cut off to 90 seconds, I was prepared for that in advance. So always prepare for plan B, especially when it comes to timing.
All right. Timing, and practice. Mohammed, last but not least.
Yeah, one of the key advices, I think, Dubai Chamber have provided us with a lot of resources and support. So use it wisely because they will support you all the time. They will provide you with mentors, resources, with everything that you need. So use it wisely.
All right. Well, guys, it was an absolute pleasure seeing you again. I'm one proud mama when I look at you, honestly, seeing where you were last year, where you are now. You must be extremely proud of yourselves. And huge round of applause for these wonderful four winners of the App Olympics 2024. Now, as we're bringing this panel to a close, it's clear that mobile app development is moving faster than ever. And from tackling challenges to using AI for better user experiences, I think today's discussion, it really showed and it really gave us the creativity, the clarity, and the innovation that is very much needed to succeed in the field that these guys are in. The App Olympics has been a great platform for developers to showcase their talents, and the lessons learned here highlight how important adaptability and collaboration are to really pushing your app forward. Now, to all of our audience members, we invite you to take the part in the competition this year and make sure that you enroll on createapps.ae. And who knows, maybe you might be the next big winner and take home a prize pot of $150,000. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Huge round of applause once again for our panelists.
Thank you.
I think we
and
should
scan the QR code.
Scan the QR code.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.